Season 1 Reloaded, all right, has come, of course. We've been waiting for this moment for a while now, and it's interesting to see what they fixed. Adriana, great to see her. They've added this Warzone Cup limited event here where you can go in an ATV, and they have special ATVs with a pulse ability to push and maneuver a football into another team's goal, very similar to Rocket League, I feel. But it could be something fun, what we could play a little bit. The first team to score 5 goals, or the team to most goals at the end of 5 minutes, time limit, wins the match. So very quick modes, very fast modes, and could be a good bit of banter and fun, that's for sure. Okay, so this is the modes. General, what they fixed here in Season 1. So the XP tokens menu has changed to display how much time is left on your XP tokens in the lobby screen. Honestly, this has been something that hasn't been implemented in the game, and you weren't able to see, as you can see on the right side here, you weren't able to see how much time you had left, and if you stacked some XP tokens up, you didn't have a clue. So quality of life change, yeah, good. XP tokens can now be equipped in the pause menu while in game. Huge, that's great. That should have been implemented into the start, but great they've added it now. XP tokens can no longer be accidentally activated during double XP events, like me when I spam through 10 of my double XP tokens. Shocking. Players who join a game in progress will no longer get a loss if their team loses the match. It's good. Attachments now have a tuning icon on them in preview, indicating which ones have been tuned and which ones cannot. Finishing moves now count towards the 30 kills in third-person daily challenge and special ops. Sticker book challenges and after action report screen now say cooling card challenge instead. Operator bios are no longer cut off partway through. I didn't look at the bios anyway. Acquiring a new blueprint will now display a pulsing dot next to the associated weapon in Gunsmith. Players will no longer be seeing a black screen on some platforms when trying to purchase CP points. Various issues with the weapon attachments, unlock, and progression has been addressed, including stats display. Okay, the social. This was a big one. A lot of people had UI problems trying to get their friends in, trying to invite your friend over. You just want to play some games. But unfortunately, the social tab was bugged. So they've merged Hub and Friends tab together. Switched to smaller player card widgets for friends. This is huge. I feel like that big, bulky player friends cards were the main problem, and you couldn't navigate your way through it properly. Added support for batch/bulk sending of friend requests. Fixed various bugs impacting the join or invite party features, and transitioned to grid view when scrolling in friends list. Awesome. I think the grid view might be nice. We've got to check that out after. Actually, we could just check it out right now. Yeah, party and friends. Okay, so they've made it into one here. We've got your party up the top here. We've got add friends here, requests here. This is still your invite here. You can now invite through the first section. This is very similar to the previous one. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful, guys. Look at what they've done. They've just made it so nice. It's just nice, easy. They're all in banners now. Look at that. It's quite easy to see. They made it so much smaller. All the online people are at the top, and all the offline people are at the bottom. That's nice. I like it. It's good. They've done well. Good job, Call of Duty. Channels. Adjusted member list states. Muted, talking, connected, etc. to be more clear if you're muted accidentally in the game or something. This is going to hopefully list it a lot better so you can be able to see what's happening. Adjusted text message states in-game channel to be more clear who they're sent. Players in member list will now be divided by team in lobbies. Fixed an issue where lobby players were still able to be heard when connected to a custom channel. Added the ability to text chat with group members. Okay, this is another thing. We've got to start a group up now too. Skater Squad is, of course, going to become a group. And we're going to invite all the supporters and all the followers in there so we can all just have a group where we can connect, play with each other, and just have a good time, all right? Groups. Find and create communities with this new social feature, what I just talked about. Check out the most recent COD blog for more. Weapons. The Chimera. With an integrated suppressor and slow hit, high energy subsonic .300 BRK rounds, the Chimera is adapt to close quarters combat. Looks very similar to like an MP7 almost, with an integrated suppressor on it. It's going to be alright. Okay, Akimbo P890s, which is that ones, you know, the broken ones, and the .50 have received a damage reduction against armored opponents. Fixed an issue causing shotguns to instantly display the broken armor hit marker, which is how I died the other day with one shot from a shotgun. It was shocking. Assault rifles. The Kastov 74U is a small reduction to close quarter combat and requires at least 3 hits to kill, requires at least 1 chest hit. 3 hits to kill requires at least 1 chest hit. That's still 3 hits, guys. It's still fast. Might be saying about maybe multiplayer there. M13B, blocking underbarrel launcher and shotgun, 7-inch Bruin B90 barrel, Kastov 545. That's like the AK-47. Increased muzzle velocity, small decrease to hipfire spread, increased close damage, increased chest damage multiplier. Might be nice to run this bad boy with a red dot now, seeing though they've upped a little bit of the chest damage and stuff. Submachine gun, MX9, you know this bad girl on the ground, increased movement speed, ADS speed, and sprint. To fire speed with a 32-round magazine. It's good. The Val 46, reduced hip spread, increased movement speed, and increased far damage. Increased far damage. Okay. Basilic. Blocking Basilic compensators and flash hider on FTAC arrow barrel. So this is just visual stuff there. The .50 GS. This is the, I'm pretty sure, the Deagle pistols. They've, looks like they've nerfed that a little bit as well. Shotguns can no longer kill fully armored players in one shot. Well, huge, guys. Oh my god. No shotguns can one-shot me anymore. Awesome. Melee, riot shield, reduce movement speed, reduce melee damage to a 3-hit kill instead of 2. I think that's good. I think 2 hits with a shield was a bit too fast. 3 hits now with the riot shield. Hey, you know what? That's good. Shield movement animation improvement. No longer switch time pulling out throwing knife when right shield is equipped. Longer switch time pulling out throwing knife when right shield is equipped. Ooh, that's going to be a bit of a bummer for them riot shielder guys. Missiles no longer land out of bounds when targeting a wall or edge of the map on the Joker rocket launcher here. Okay, this is vehicles. So vehicles balancing. Vehicle balancing adjustments. Reduce collision damage taken by the heavy chopper, especially from landing. Increased health and damage resistance of the UTV. Increased falling damage of the ATV and UTV. Added custom turret rotation speed for the APC, light tank, and heavy tank. Increased damage done by increased damage done by the AR to both LTV versions. Reduced distance the boats can be piloted when completely out of the water. So you can jump into the boat a little bit more. Adjusted vehicle exits to the limit chances not being able to exit on steep slopes, so you can just exit at all times now. Players are no longer get the out of bounds countdown when taking a vehicle from an enemy's restricted area in the ground war and driving out of the zone. Fixed an issue where player would continue to see the countdown if they got into a vehicle just outside the zone. Okay. Other. Friendly player visibility. Friendly player nameplates disappear when an enemy is in the direct path of an ally. To prevent, oh my god, to prevent mistaking enemies for allies. This is huge, guys. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I've had a few situations where an enemy has been right in front of me and my teammate is behind in another building, and honestly, it lines up with the enemy and you think it's your teammate. Friendly player nameplates will disappear now when an enemy is in a direct path of the ally. That's huge. That's going to be game-changing in them situations, and you're not going to die from a little tater who you think is your friend. In Tier 1 mode, this change only applies to allies behind Geo. Allies with a line of sight will always show nameplate to prevent friendly fire. Friendly fire? Huh? Kill streaks. Players that have been killed in one life modes with revive capabilities such as knockout would no longer be marked as an active playing. Charisma, missile, chopper gun, or gunship. This is kill streaks, of course. Care package fixed an issue that allowed players to spawn in a position where the care package is occupying. So not too much about the care package that we need to really worry about because it's a multiplayer sort of thing. Portable radar can now stick to vehicles. Ooh! You know what that means, guys? We're going to whack some radars on some vehicles and drive around and have a vehicle UAV. I think that sounds pretty good. Radiation blocker now prevents the use of equipment when performing a number of different actions, such as slotting in armor. This should resolve a few issues where players will no longer have their weapon or could not interact with items. This might have been something similar to radiation, of course, radiation blocker, like when you climb a ladder and them, you know, I don't know about you, but I've climbed a ladder a couple times and the gun's just not out after you've sort of get up that ladder. I don't know if you've had that glitch, but I have, and it's shocking. Thermite grenades will no longer persist on a player that was stuck, then died and respawned again. Oh my god, you imagine that? Tuning, most beneficial tuning value magnitudes have been increased. Some harmful tuning value magnitudes have been decreased. Okay. Optics, thermal optics, increased range with all optics, thermal target identification range. Enemies' heat signature fades when they are killed. And they've got the sights here, of course. We got to try some of these sights out because I've never really used any of the thermal sights, but hey, we might give it a go. Bug fixes fixed an issue causing the game client to freeze upon unlocking Sector A15 in the Battle Pass. Fixed an issue causing reward previews to not appear as intended while navigating the Battle Pass. Fixed audio cutting off when skidding. Come on, mate. I want to hear some skiddies. Fixed attacking while fist. Fixed attacking with fist causing players to lean out of vehicles. Audio. Fixed Dolby Atmos data issue where some sounds were not panning to ceiling speakers. Audio occlusion remains disabled in multiplayer. Investigate this issue. All right, Warzone 2.0. Here you go. All right, so this is the playlist for this new one. Solos, max players is 150. Solos now. Quads is 152, as in no joining. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Jay. I thought it was very similar to what I was thinking anyway. 150 players max in duo. Quads 152. So they've upped this by 2 players here as well. Hey, thanks, guys. Mini Royale, they've added trios, max players 54. Well, Warzone Cup, this is that new ATV mode, max players 6. DMZ, trios, max players 60 now. I don't know, I think it was less than 60 before. Up to 6 players per squad. Ooh, okay, so you can actually have up to 6 players per squad. For regular updates about playlists and schedule events, check out detailed Warzone Trello board. Map, general improvements to lighting and shadows across several major points of interest in Al Mazrah. The DMZ building new 21. This is that new raid thing, what we were talking about before. Mysterious new keys have arrived in Al Mazrah, but where they lead. Limited intel and access to the biological laboratory known as Building 21. Will take players outside of Al Mazrah into a hyper-dangerous new area of DMZ. Yeah, so 60 now instead of 50, John. Hey, that'll be alright. The map's big enough, you know. Alright, a few more things here. The Battle Royale adjustment. Strongholds and Black Site AI. Increase the number of active strongholds up to 5, up from 3. Yes! Huge. That's great. This is exactly what we wanted. We wanted more of these strongholds because we want to be able to get our loadouts. AI combatants. Damage per bullet reduced by 26%. Number of units per site reduced by 50%. Further reductions based on squad sizes. Oh, they've nerfed the AI, baby. They're not going to be as strong anymore. Hey, this is good. This is good, nice. AI combatant reinforcements. Double time between waves. Number of units per wave reduced to 30%. Black Site. AI combatants now have additional armor. Rewards an upgrade version of the Stronghold UAV, which will sweep twice as far at about 30% fast. That is huge. Oh my god. Okay, so the Black Sites now, you'll get a massive UAV, what is double the size, and also 30% faster each sweep. You're going to have a consistent UAV. These Black Sites now are going to be very hot, and if you hold it as a team, you know where all the teams are coming from. Like, it's a consistent UAV. That is huge. That's going to be crazy. DMZ adjustments, cash values, so I haven't played too much DMZ, keeping that in mind, but I know a lot of you guys do play DMZ, so here is a little bit of the adjustments. Cash values, general changes to valuable items, changes to cash rewards for contracts. Container spawn rates, increased self-revives, gas mask, and field upgrades in first aid kits. Increased plate carrier areas. Backpacks and field upgrades in weapon stashes. Decreased electronic components in computer towers. Decreased toothpaste in medical cabinets. Decreased number of items found in black markets. Plea for help. Eliminated players are now able to request help from enemy players, resulting in them joining the enemy squad as a new member. Interesting. XP tokens can now be activated in the main lobby menu. Random perks. Successfully extracting multiple times in a row will provide players with random perks for their next infill. That's kind of cool. Perks could be game-changing in DMZ. You imagine having high alert and a few other things, like that could be Some dude's looking at you or hiding in that bush. Be quite crazy. Medium and large backpacks. They now allow for a third weapon slot. Okay, so it's not just the large backpacks, it's the medium backpacks now as well, what are going to allow that third weapon slot, so you can quickly have a sniper stored away and your AR, so you can quickly switch between the two. If you need to use the AR, you need to use the sniper, you can have both, so you can have all level playing fields, SMG, sniper, and also your AR. Faction missions made improvements to descriptions for better clarity. Bomb drone. Okay. Looks like they're going to add the bomb drone back in, baby, by the looks of this. Bomb drone. Players with 3 armor plates on the outer radius of an explosion will survive, but receive a critical damage. Okay, so I think this is good. If you got a 3-plater on, you shouldn't instantly die, all right? I think that's your safeguard. I think the 3-platers, they need to decrease the spawn of the 3-plate vests. Make people try to loot up a bit harder and try to find that for your ultimate survival in most situations, okay? Because if you don't have a 3-plater, it's very hard to survive at the moment. Radiation Blocker DMZ now prevents the use of equipment when performing a number of different actions, such as slotting in armor plates. Gotta remember that, alright? Perks. Default loadouts have been updated. Quality of life. Okay. More quality of life stuff. Out of bounds. Time allowed outside the playable area has now been increased to 10 seconds. I actually don't know how much it was, but it's been increased to 10, so it must only been like 5 seconds or so. Player revive alert. A sound will now, sound will now play to alert nearby players when a player has been revived. That's huge. Yes, that's what we want, guys. If some dude is self-resing on the ground right there beside each other, and he gets up off the ground, there needs to be some sort of bling, like you have to hear them revive. All right, that's huge. That's great. Ammunition. When players drop a weapon, their ammo will drop onto the ground. Moving forward, this ammo will be automatically looted should other players with a partial stack of the same ammo type walk over it. Yeah, that's huge. So basically similar to plates. As long as you've got the plate in the slot or one plate in the slot, it'll pick up the next 2 when you walk over one. So that's going to be good for the ammo situation. It's going to stop stuff on the ground and you can't pick it up, or you're trying to move and you can't just pick it up. Like, it's good. We've made improvements to the ground loot priority so that interacting with desired items is easier. Buy stations have items purchased via buy stations will spawn spread out rather than stacked for easier interaction. That's good too. They're not just going to be stacked on top of each other. Gulag elimination alert. A sound will play to notify the squad when a member of the Gulag has been eliminated, an opponent or been eliminated. Okay, excellent. That's great. A sound will play as soon as someone gets taken out, which means it's going to notify you that one person has died. I don't know if it's a different sound for your teammate and a different sound for the enemy. We're going to have to find out. UI UX combat record. Although previously announced, this was a bit of a bummer, but you know, Warzone 2.0 and combat records will not be launching with Season 1 Reloaded due to concerns about the accuracy of the data population. However, we will continue to work on this feature and implementation of the leaderboards and will provide an update when available. Hope that's soon, because I really like stats, you know? Stats are awesome. Bug fixes, alright? Fix various issues preventing a player nameplates from appearing while spectating. That's good, because honestly, it was so scary spectating your friend, thinking, oh my god, there's an enemy right there, and it turns out to be little Timmy, the friend. Fix collision issues with various elements across Al Mazrah, allowing players to exploit, peek, and shoot through them. Fixed an issue prevented players from hearing bomb drone audio beeps at intended distances. Mate, that's going to haunt me, them bomb drone beeps. Fixed an issue that caused enemy marking a squad progress bar to not fill correctly when being interrogated. Fixed an issue that caused black widescreen bars to appear at the top and the bottom of the screen. Fixed an issue that caused players and AI combatants to not render properly during a match. Fixed an issue that prevented players from editing custom loadouts while in the firing range. Fixed an issue that prevented players from pinging a loadout drop. That's good, because that was a big pain in the butt. Fixed an issue that caused players to redeploy further from their team than intended when a jailbreak became active. That's good too. Fixed an issue that caused weapons to function incorrectly when dropped and picked up on the train. Fixed an issue that caused daily challenges to overlap in the squad menu. Fixed an issue that prevented players from interacting with loot caches or crouched while crouched or proned. Fixed an issue that caused circle closing countdown audio to not play after opening the TAC map. Fixed an issue that caused a black site person of interest to follow players further from the black site than intended. Fixed an issue of bounty. They've done a lot of UI changes, guys, and a lot of fixes here. Fixed an issue that caused bounty contract UI to remain on the screen after a player was eliminated, I'd say. Fixed an issue that caused the redeploy perk UI not displaying its progress bars correctly. Fixed an issue that caused placeholder text to appear instead of player IDs. Fixed an issue that allowed players to operate most vehicles while leaning out the window. Fixed an issue with textures on various destroyed vehicles. Fixed an issue allowing players to use a finishing move on their own teammate after a Gulag win. Oh my god. That would be some funny content. Fixed an issue that caused the screen to flash if a player attempted to return to the main menu during the victory phase at the end of the match. Fixed an issue that caused the game client to freeze and remove players from a match when interacting with buy stations. Fixed an issue that prevented the defuse option from consistently appearing while interacting with bombs in strongholds. Fixed an issue prevented eliminations from appearing in the kill feed. That was a huge one. The kill feed animation for the kill feed, basically, when your teammate kills a person, knocks him, eliminates him, it never used to come up, and it was a bit of a pain because you didn't know what was happening. If that teammate didn't tell, hey man, I knocked him, or hey, I finished him, you wouldn't know. Like, there was nothing, so that's good. Fixed an issue prevented kill feed notifications when friendly players were downed. Fixed an issue that prevented players using keyboard and mouse input from pinging elements on the TAC map. Fixed an issue that prompted players to install single-player campaign while attempting to queue for modes like Battle Royale. Fixed an issue that caused incorrect match placement appear on the screen after a player's squad is eliminated. Fixed an issue that caused players to skip the down state despite having a revive pistol. This has happened to me a few times. That's a really good one. I'm glad that they fixed that. Fixed an issue preventing players from interacting at the end of the match options like spectate, play again with squad, and leave game. Fixed an issue in contract failure when eliminating black site person of interest in a vehicle or bomb drone. Fixed an issue weapon selections to default back to an M4 or P890 while adding custom loadouts. Caused the game client to crash when navigating 2.0 playlist options. Caused a performance drop when attempting to navigate social menu. Placeholder images in appear in vehicle customization menu. The engine audio and certain vehicles to disappear when being driven. Caused the screen to flicker during live matches. Allowed players to max out cash while interacting with ground loot. Fixed an issue with tactical equipment to not render properly using the Strasga operator skin. Must be a name of the operator skin. Fixed an issue. Allowed players to avoid drowning by holding a revive pistol. That was game-changing and game-breaking as well. I'm glad they fixed that. Fixed an issue. Allowed player to loot multiple loadouts after completing a stronghold contract. Yep, glad they fixed that too. That was a big bug. Fixed an issue preventing ATVs from taking fall damage. Fixed an issue causing loadout drops to fired equipment that did not match intended custom loadout selections. This is good, guys. This is really good for the first update. Caused a lot of performance drops in environmental while spectating a squad member. Fixed an issue that caused performance drop where the player was eliminated in smoke from a smoke grenade. Caused contract phones not to render properly with close proximity. Players being picked up from contract phones on some surfaces. Caused visual corruption while using the VLK 4x scope. Didn't really have that issue. I haven't anyway. Fixed an issue that prevented a squad's total cash updating correctly after assimilating, so redeploying a player. Fixed an issue that caused the HUD to disappear when a player was eliminated while holding a precision airstrike. Fixed various visual issues with elements across Al Mazrah. Picking up awarded strongholds with piles of loose in a stronghold. Fixed an issue caused the infill plane to spawn in the middle of the field, causing players to receive an out-of-bounds warning while deploying. That would have been a bummer. Certain items to float in the air after being placed on a vehicle on it moving. Fixed an issue Battle Royale victories from counting towards mastery challenges. So that's good. I'm glad they fixed that because Battle Royale victories were not counting in some, like, I think there's like 20 wins I just don't have. So it's good they fixed that too. Fixed an issue that caused active players to be incorrectly removed from a match during inactivity. Fixed an issue that allowed players to use melee attacks while swapping seats in a vehicle. Oh my god. Fixed an issue that caused Champion's Quest HUD elements to disappear during the mission. Oh my god, you imagine being on the nuke and the HUD elements disappear? Oh no. Fixed a visual issue with your parachutes while using akimbo grip attachments. Hey there, I had that a couple times. Fixed an issue that caused interact information to appear in the distance indicator on the left side of the screen while using the spottoscope. Fixed an issue that prevented spectators from switching between player view and helmet cam while viewing a player parachuting. Fixed an issue that saw caused Safecracker contract loot to clip an area open safe. Fixed an issue caused the jailer to stand still and not engage players after appearing in the gulag. Fixed an issue pinged strongholds not appear on the Manny map. Caused players see loadout drop icons in the gulag. Players aren't to be stuck in the air after hanging off a ledge. The player XP summary overlapped them with the match place and answer text to be eliminated. How you going, Brett? Good to see you guys. Good to see everyone reading through these patch notes, chat. Safecracker contract spawning active in a stronghold. Holy, there's a lot they fixed, eh? There's a lot of UA and a lot of bug fixes they fixed. You know, it's looking good. We're just going to have to test it out and see how we go. Fixed an issue that caused loot card items to overlap. Allowed it turret on the back of an armored patrol boat, damage a boat. Fixed an issue with missing descriptions in the items of the buy station. Fixed an issue that allowed eliminations and loot caches in DMZ to count towards your Battle Royale mastery challenges. Fixed an issue that caused some blueprints not to be usable in DMZ. Fixed an issue that caused lethal and tactical equipment to not count towards faction missions when extracting. Fixed an issue where some use prompts did not work correctly for some faction missions. Fixed an issue that caused the Hunt Squad contract to reward cash when the target squad exfils. Fixed an issue that caused the sensitive documents in the caved-in mission to not be usable. Fixed an issue that caused caches in the secure nuclear material contract to sometimes spawn in locked areas. Fixed an issue that caused destroyed reinforcement helicopters to not track reliability in faction missions. Fixed an issue that caused weapons to research missions to not track properly. Fixed an issue where players were unable to view their tier 3 missions for Legion of White Lotus and tier 4 missions for Black Moes. Fixed an issue that caused killstreak and elimination missions to track progress when using killstreak in any other game modes. Fixed an issue that caused some missions to progress or reset. Caused charges to destroy supplies, contract not doing damaged. Fixed an issue that prevented players from being able to destroy some contraband weapons properly. Fixed an issue that caused and resulted in some key intel note pickups randomly going missing after a few minutes of gameplay. And then known issues. For a list of known issues, check out the Trello board. Good luck, baby. Yeehaw. Raven Software. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That's it, baby.